Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to crumble!
I'm Joshua Kemble, and welcome to Joshua Kemble's Livestream. I've been a freelance illustrator and graphic designer for over 20 years. I was an art director for 9 years. And when I'm not art directing and working on illustrations and graphic designs, I'm working on comic books and graphic novels, and that's usually what I do during my streams. And while conversations can go all over the place on this stream, from spicy and entertaining to goofy and silly, one thing stays consistent throughout every stream. I'll always be working on art. So pull up a chair, get your art supplies out, and get ready for an entertaining show that'll keep you company while you work on your own personal art projects. This is Joshua Kemble's Art Stream. All right, welcome to my live stream. I'm Joshua Kemble, and I'm going to be on this stream playing some samples from my new album that will be released soon. There's a link in the show notes that where you can like hyper follow it so that you're notified of its release the second it comes out. And I recommend you guys do that, especially if you use Spotify. But yes, it's a new album, another album. And so that album is called The Worst Places to Work. And it's basically, that's the album cover right there. And it's going to be 10 songs all themed on horrible workplaces. And so that should be pretty exciting. I'll probably play tracks of that while we're working today and hanging out and working on comics. I'm going to be doing the roughs for page 112 of Not Death But Love, the Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning, which should be pretty fun. And if you haven't yet, you can also check out the album I released a couple weeks ago called They Don't Care About the Born. And that's another 10-song album on all sorts of themes. Not totally themed on one particular topic, but on all sorts of things, ranging from love in the apocalypse to like the brain in a vat experiment. So anyhow, that should be pretty interesting. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to play you guys samples of this while we work. So hopefully that'll be interesting. I have all the masters. It's already uploaded and basically been set to release. So it should be arriving on music streaming platforms everywhere very shortly. All right, let's get into our art stream. So, boom. Here's what we're going to do. So, down here below my ridiculous giant logo there, you're going to see a script. And from that script, I'm going to be basically working it out, blocking it out, and then we're going to be working on coming up with the rough for page 112. And my hope during this stream is to just rough this one page and then probably break for dinner. And then I will be continually probably streaming as I do these roughs throughout the night, but we'll see how that goes. So, okay, because I have to rough about, I think 5 more pages of roughs would do it. So, okay. So what we're going to do right now is, and again, Not Death But Love, the Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning is a historical fiction graphic novel about the Brownings, the poet Elizabeth Barrett Browning, and her fascination with trying to contact the dead through seances and different things like that. And her growing relationship with Sophie Eckley, who's kind of a mysticist and an attempted poet. And Mr. Daniel Douglas Home, who is a spiritualist of note at the time, who kind of goes around traveling to different Victorian homes, having seances and things like that. And then how it's kind of causing a slight rift in the Brownings' marriage. And so it's an interesting, very historical. It's historical fiction, but most of the facts of the case are actually documented directly from the Brownings' letters, and so that's pretty cool. It's a story about the Brownings that nobody's written about. And if, in case you don't know who Elizabeth Barrett Browning is, you've heard Elizabeth Barrett Browning, whether you're aware of it or not. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. That's Elizabeth Barrett Browning's poem, and she was very famous in her own lifetime for her poetry. Okay, that's gonna do it. We're gonna get into it. So first, we're gonna block this out. Once I have the list of what I'm gonna rough out worked out, then from there, what I'm gonna do is come up with a thumbnail, and then after I have my thumbnail kind of worked out, what we're gonna do is from that point, then I can start working on the rough, and we can start listening to music and stuff. But while I'm coming up with the list and the thumbnail, I really want to be focused and not have any sort of sound in the background as that's going down. Also, I just want to share, it's like 115 degrees out, and there's been brownouts a lot. So if this stream suddenly just stops, know that there's been a brownout. And also, if you are paying attention and you're in the chats, definitely make sure that you remind me to save constantly. All right, so here we go. We're gonna break this down. My wife is working on some crazy book deadlines as well, and so that's been an interesting thing. The last few days, the last week we've been working pretty hard, early into the mornings on quite a few days. Okay, so this is going to be continuing the conversation. So where we left off, Elizabeth is basically talking to Robert and they're basically having this conversation at an open air market where Robert is kind of letting her know that he knows that they were kind of up to something weird in the cupboard. He had heard from their maid Wilson that Sophie and Elizabeth had been hanging out in the cupboard doing something goofy. And so he's kind of bringing that to her attention. And then he kind of mentions that he's jealous of the fact that she doesn't act as sick, because Elizabeth is sick constantly, and that she seems to kind of return to her old self whenever she's around Sophie. And so now we're going to basically continue that conversation. And it's going to be a slightly weird conversation because there's some underlying tension there. Obviously, because Robert doesn't he doesn't trust Sophie so much because Sophie is friends with Home. And Home is a guy that Robert has had a very public falling out with. And so that's where we're kind of at right now. So, okay, we're going to write down what we're going to need for this page to just kind of make this work. So, number 1, it says Elizabeth takes his arm and they resume walking. So I'm going to do 1. Elizabeth takes arm and her and Robert are walking. That's 2 separate actions, but I think we can just show them walking arm in arm again. I don't think we need to show her grab his arm, do that. That's kind of like unnecessary detail. So we'll just say they're going to continue walking with her arm in his. And then I want this to actually be like an overhead of shot in the market. And I want like Penn in distance. Penn is their kid, but he's going to come in to play in a little bit. So that'll be important to kind of establish. And we'll do like an overhead view. Because I think that's a nice way to do like a reestablishing shot, because we've had a lot of talking head panels on the last page. So just to make it more annoying for myself, I'm going to do an overhead shot of the market. So then Robert, we're going to have this as Robert text. So Robert's going to be saying, well, what is the explanation for the cupboard incident? And then Elizabeth is saying, we were only playing a little game. So I'm going to actually do that all in one wide panel. I think that could be done in one wide panel. And then we'll do 2, which can be the same shot. Oh man, this is too much. Okay, so Penn's running over to his parents. Elizabeth bends down to straighten his jacket. Okay, it's already too many actions. Okay, I'm gonna do the same shot. Penn has run to Elizabeth and Robert, and then this will be Penn text. So that'll be Penn's text saying, "May I buy a sweet?" Then 3 will make it be EBB. Now straightening jacket of Penn, and Robert reaching in pocket. Number 4 will be Robert pulling coins from pocket. And then it'll be 5, Robert hands coins to Penn. Penn's going to say Penn text. So Penn's going to say, thank you, Papa. 6 is going to be Robert closer to Elizabeth. And then Robert's going to be saying his text, which is him saying, I'm glad you found a kindred spirit. Just one word of advice. Tread carefully where Sophie is concerned, my love. Tread carefully. All right. 6 panels. That kind of works, I think. We'll see once we start breaking it down into thumbnails. And then since it's like 1,000,000 degrees, I will probably put on a trailer and get a refill of water before we get into the thumbs. But here I'm going to just call this text, this layer, and then I'm going to make a new layer. And I'm going to call that thumbs. All right. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to play a trailer. And then we'll get through the thumbnails for this. And then while we do roughs, I'll debut my new album for you guys. That should be dropping next week, which is crazy because that means I've done 2 albums in about like half a month, which is kind of insane. And I've still been really inspired. So I might play you guys an instrumental part, that a song that I'm working on currently that's not on either of these albums. And not mastered yet. But the album, I'll be able to play the full mastered album for you guys. Okay. So that's what's to come. Very exciting. Very, very cool. It might be the first time this has ever been fully debuted. But let's go ahead and play Frank's Adventures at the Library. I'm going to get a refill of my water, and then we will do the roughs for this page.
Our heroic adventurers fought orcs, monsters, sorcerers, necromancers. Now they find themselves in front of a mystical library. What shall they find? It's all in the roll of the dice. We've come this far. There's great power behind this door. I can feel it. We just have to get past it. This door is no match for my axe. I shall chop it down. You always want to use brute strength. Why don't you try knocking? We'll try it your way. You may enter. The library is open to all those who seek knowledge. Feel free to look through our tomes. Maybe you'll find the answers you seek. I sense great power here, and it's behind those shelves. Indeed, there are powerful items hidden behind these shelves, but you can only get there through the enchanted words. Do you have those words? I believe I do.
Tremble before the Krembo.
There is great power. Look at that glove. Must be so powerful. That is not where I sense this power. I must get closer. I found them. I found these sacred manuscripts written by Joshua Kemble. Behold, I now possess 2 stories and Jacob's apartment. Please tell us more about 2 stories and Jacob's apartment, and who is Joshua Kemble? Xeric Award-winning cartoonist Joshua Kemble is a freelance artist, graphic designer, and author. 2 Stories is a confessional graphic memoir that grapples with questions of faith, mental illness, depravity, and ultimately redemption in a fallen world. Jacob's Apartment is a coming-of-age graphic novel in the vein of Ghost Road and Fun Home. It weaves together the threads of spiritual faith, identity, purpose, love, and loss to create an engrossing world in which waking and sleeping dreams collide. You have made your choice. The passage is now closed. Wait, can I get that glove? No. Oh. All right, let's go.
All right, that was Frank Salazar's Adventures of the Library promotion for my book, which I really appreciate him sending in. All right, so here we go. So the first shot, we're going to do an overhead shot of Elizabeth basically walking arm in arm with Robert. I want this to be like a wide panel, so I think what I'll do is we'll have Robert here. Robert's going to be walking casually, like not too pronounced of a walk. Elizabeth's going to be here. She's going to be turned towards Robert. She's taking his arm. And then we're going to have this like be them walking. I think her head can be more turned towards him. And then we'll have like the place that she was just getting the apples. It's not going to be like a wild overhead. I just think like a position where we can kind of see them both, it would be really good. And then we're going to have Penn up here. Penn's going to be like looking at a stall or something. He's got his like longer hair. And then we'll have Wilson, who's still filling her basket or whatever, because Wilson's kind of doing the shopping around here. So she's filling her basket. Maybe it doesn't need to be an overhead. Maybe it can be like a side long view. This will be her basket, and this will be just more kind of more stalls and stuff. Maybe this can be like a vendor. They have like these wild kind of vendor hats. Maybe it's like a chubbier lady. And then we'll have her just kind of, she's pointing to her vending stuff. And then we'll have the background, which can be, so here will be the kind of tent thing. There's like a lot of tents in this spot, so you're gonna have like a little tent. And then maybe we can fill this out a little more. Actually, this kind of works. Okay, and then we'll have this kind of cropped in a little more. I'm getting like way too scribbly with my rough, but that's okay. So this will be just some of the outer markets. We'll have like a barrel here that's full of maybe fish or something for them to shoot at. Shooting fish in a barrel. And then we'll have like a let's have like an old window kind of thing here. There should be like maybe another market. Maybe I need to widen the street a little bit. So the market maybe can have another kind of stall here, just to establish like this is these kind of market stalls where they have like all sorts of goodies. And then maybe this will have the vendor here. Maybe this can be like a gentleman who's kind of leaning. Maybe he's smoking a pipe and leaning against his stall. Something like that. And then he'll have one of those awnings too. So that's kind of how these things work. And then we'll have just some details like a door, maybe some windows, maybe some other buildings. Like the idea of some more windows here. Another kind of door. Okay, and then we'll have our text. So I can clean that up a little bit. But what's great is, actually, that's kind of all I need. And then we can do a lot of this this detail work, once we get further than the thumbnail. So this will be Robert saying, well, what's the explanation for the cupboard incident? So that'll be type here, where he'll be saying, so what's the explanation for the cupboard incident, right? He's like, hey, what's the explanation there? And she's going to say, we were playing a little game. So that could be right here. We were playing a little game. Why am I so like, I mean, I'm loose, and that's good. It's good to be loose, but a little too wobbly with my, a little too sketchy with my rough. Not that it needs to be tighter, but okay, so that's going to be pretty good. Now let's do that same shot with let's do that same shot, but this one will be Penn running over to them. So again, I'll kind of rework that person to be there. Maybe this time now the guy's like, huh. He's got like a bit of a change in posture. We're going to have Penn here saying, like he's running. And this arm actually should be forward. This arm should be back. And he'll be saying, may I buy a sweet? Apparently Penn has a real sweet tooth. So and then this will be, may I buy a sweet, please? Could you spare me a sweet? Okay, anyhow. So Penn has moved. I think we could have her head's gonna be like more tilted to look at him. And maybe she's got her hand out like, oh no, wait, Penn, right? But she's also got her basket here that she's going to be holding. All right. So that gets us there. So that's let's get our text. Let's go back to our text layer. So that's our Elizabeth, same shot, Penn runs, and then it's EBB text. And then the next is going to be, okay. So let's go to the thumbs again. And then the next is going to be Robert. Oh, Elizabeth is going to be kind of fixing his coat while Robert pulls coins from his pocket. So let's have like Elizabeth here fixing his coat. And this is going to be Penn. Penn kind of standing, looking inquisitively at his dad or whatever. And then this will be of Robert. He's digging into his coat pocket. That'll be him kind of digging into his coat pocket. And then that can be actually even smaller. And we can make that right here. Then the next is going to be him handing coins, I think. Let's find out. Let's go back to our list. The next one is, okay, this will be a close-up of him pulling coins from his pocket. So I think here we'll just have a few coins of Robert's hand. And this will be, let me have his hand kind of out here. So then that can be like the kid's hand, basically waiting for the coins. And then this can be Robert now looking to his kid with his arms kind of on his side. He's just handed the coins. Elizabeth is, maybe she's now kind of crouching, because she was kind of crouching over, so now she's crouching over to look at him, and he'll be like, with his hand still out, but now he's got coins in him. And he's going to be saying basically, "Thank you, Papa." Yeah, that actually works. I like that. Again, this is thumbnails. So the beauty of like thumbnails is they can be nice, loose, and kind of wild. So the next one. So we just did all of these. I think I accidentally did that on the wrong layer. So we'll do edit, paste in place. And we'll merge this down. And we're getting there. We're getting closer. So that'll be Robert pulls coins from pocket, hands pen. Robert's going to move closer to Elizabeth. So I like the idea of maybe this being this can be Elizabeth kind of getting back up. Maybe your hands are like shooing him away or whatever. We'll have Penn kind of running off. And then we'll have Robert sort of here. Now he's turning to Elizabeth. Okay, cool. This is so sloppy. It's almost like stick figures, which is kind of all I need. And then this will be the close-up where Robert's going to be saying, so now Elizabeth's going to be looking at Robert kind of like, you know, and she's going to have her kind of hair, whatever. And then she's going to be looking up at Robert. And he's going to be saying, I'm glad you found a kindred spirit business. And maybe his hand will be on her shoulder. And then his other hand can be kind of out. And let's see here. We might squeeze this down just a little bit to make a little more room. And this can be him saying, like, I'm glad you found a kindred spirit or whatever, but like tread lightly as far as Sophie's concerned, my love, or whatever. So that'll be here. And then we'll have that all squish to a page. Squishies. Oh, wait. I did it again. I drew on the wrong. Okay. Let's go edit, paste in place. Sometimes I'll accidentally draw on the text layer. And so now we have kind of a rough layout here. And obviously it'll look less kind of wonky and wiggly than that once we get to the final. But I think we have our thumbnail, so I'm going to go ahead and call that. I'll go ahead and mark off the text thing because it feels good to hit that check mark. All right, and then we're going to go from this thumbnail to rough in a few seconds. So as usual, when we go from thumbnail to rough, I'll play another trailer, and then we'll get working on the rough, and I'll play a debut of my demo, or my new album, I should say, which is called The Worst Places to Work. And it's all horrible workplace themed music, and it's about 10 songs. I have the masters. I have a link below where you guys can follow the album as well. It's a hyperlink, so it'll let you know the second it's on Spotify. But I'm going to debut it and play it for you guys while we're working. So that is to come. And for now, what we'll do is play Home Shopping Kemble.
Well, thank you, Colleen. I hope your daughter Kelly does well at North Carolina State this year. Well, we got another caller on the line. Elizabeth from Phoenix, Arizona. Elizabeth, what can we do for you? Are you ready to do some shopping, girl?
Oh, yes, Terry. I am ready to do some shopping today. I'm interested in that 2-book set you have. 2 Stories and Jacob's Apartment.
Oh, well, that's a great choice.
In fact, I bought these books before. I gave a set to my grandson, Hunter. These books are amazing.
Well, they sure are, and if you buy both of them, you really get the whole feel of the whole Joshua Kemble universe. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do, Terry. These books are remarkable because, for one, you can take them anywhere. You could put them in your car, and you can go to the park or the river. We've gone to the river. My husband Taylor and I, we just love it. And I murdered my husband at the river. Yeah, I did. But these still are amazing books.
You can put them in your car. You can take them to the park. I love that. That's one of the funniest ones of the trilogy that Jim provided. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually end up stretching this back out a little bit to kind of fit where I want it to be. And what's great is I think that'll actually, if I move this over, I'll give us a little more room for that type, which is great. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is basically make this a blue line. And we'll go ahead and do that right now. And I'm going to play you guys the first track on Worst Places to Work, which is called You're No Angel. And this is about, a terrible coworker, basically, who, people consider kind of an angel, and they're actually the worst human being in the world. So that's what this is about. Let's play it, and let me know your guys' thoughts. While we work on, first thing I'm going to do is lay out the panel borders. And then from there, we'll start drawing the rough. All right. So here is that track. No Angel. All right, so that was No Angel, and that's what that was. And that's the first song on Worst Places to Work. And in the background, my wife and sister-in-law are cracking up over old Disney cartoons, which are pretty amazing. Pluto's sweater. which is great. We love those old classics. Okay, let's see here. We're going to here connect this band. We're going to get a little bit further on the rough. And what I'll play now is just since we're debuting, I'll play you guys Burnout. And this song is about workplace burnout. So that's what this one is themed on. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. And I'll play it for you now.
Called to tell you of a time where I lost all care. Started hearing voices that weren't even there. Started seeing cameras monitoring me. Thought I was on some reality TV. Felt the weight of balancing my whole world. Lost my grip as reality unfurled. A total breakdown. Don't trust anything they say. They're recording your every move to you someday. Don't trust anything they do. Anything that you say could be used against you. They're watching you. Collapse of my rational faculties. Nervous breakdown from overthinking things. Who do you trust if you can't trust your mind? Stepping ahead just to fall back behind. Push you to the brink, keeping you on the grind. So you have a total breakdown. Put me in an institution for the mind. To correct my thinking about the daily grind. Had to sign some papers, sign away my rights. And then the place that drove me deep into this day. Felt the weight of balancing my whole world. Lost my grip as reality unfurled. A total breakdown. Don't trust anything they say. They're recording your every move to you someday. Don't trust anything they do. Anything that you say could be used against you. They're watching you.
All right, that's track 2 off the album Worst Places to Work, my new album that will be dropping very shortly. And what we're doing now is like we basically done the borders, like the roughs for the borders, and so now we're going to rough in the text and then kind of a more solid picture, basically to send the publisher. And we're making pretty good progress. So let me do the text balloons real quick before we get back into debuting the 10 songs on the new album. What are you guys up to? How's it going? I'll tell you, like, it's been a pretty interesting day today. I have been on a weird sleep schedule the last week or so, sort of in freelance like sleep mode, which means like sleeping during the day, working during the night. And then it's even worse because I get crazy allergies. And so when I get these like wacky allergies, it's like the time of the day where the allergies aren't like wild. It's usually like super early in the morning or late at night, depending on your viewpoint. Okay, so this is going to say what's the explanation for the cupboard? You know, now I'm wondering why a cupboard is called a cupboard. Is it a cup board? It's like a board to put your cups on? Is that what it I'm curious now. Just reading that, it looks like cup board. And so I'm like, I wonder if that's the origin of that word. I always get like bothered by word origins as I'm working on comics. Because you start reading a word, you're like, huh, what's the etymology of that? I'm curious. Okay, so then we're gonna get into here where it'll be saying we were only playing okay, that actually works. Playing a little game. And that'll be her text. And then here it's going to be Man, my brush is a little too thick here. May I buy a sweet? And then here it's going to be saying, thank you, Papa. Thank you, Papa. And then here it's going to be the I'm glad you have found. So being that it's Sunday, I wonder what you guys have been up to. A kindred spirit. Just one word of advice. tread. Where Sophie is concerned. I love. There we go. Okay, we will resume the music listening, the debut of the album, Worst Places to Work. That should be up on streaming platforms everywhere very shortly, like within the next few days. But I have the masters. I have the full album. And so I'm going to be playing it for you. But we're just going to peek at this. This is where we're at on the rough so far. Because we've been having brownouts occasionally. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm saving. All right. And let's listen to the next track, which will be... This one is called Daydreaming in a Cubicle. So this is about, that kind of being trapped in a cubicle or feeling trapped in a cubicle, kind of looking at the pictures around your cubicle and trying to use those to escape your daily horrible existence. So that's what this is called. Daydreaming in a Cubicle. And really start filling out the rough here. All right, so now what we're doing is basically just filling out the details for the rough for this this first panel. Just trying to kind of give a really good idea to the publisher and the author of the environment and kind of how far we are on it. And then from there, we'll sort of move forward to the final once we have these established. So we got the start of that, this wide shot, and then we'll just kind of continue till we get the end of it. All right, let's play a little bit more of the of the album Worst Places to Work. This is number 4. This is called Buying and Packaging Souls. So this is number 4. Buying and Packaging Souls. All right, that was Buying and Packaging Souls. And right now we're just kind of working out the rough for the page layout. This is like an old man kind of sitting by his sales business here. And we'll kind of work this out in more detail in a bit, but you know, we're going to have like products and stuff here, maybe some fish. Let's see, maybe some eggs or something, and carrots. And again, this is all just roughs again, but it should be like, once I kind of get rid of that, it should be a little more clear where we're going to head with this, you know, for the publisher and for the author and stuff. So that's kind of the goal. And then here, maybe we got some kind of cabbages. And maybe we'll have, what could this be? Maybe this can be just like grain or something. And let's see what else. A few more, maybe oranges. maybe. And I like the idea of maybe by this cart we have some other stuff too, but we'll kind of fill it out as we go. I'm trying to get all the key elements here. Do 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 do. Let's see. Maybe. Okay. So I don't know if you guys are interested, but I'm thinking of playing more of the album. So I think what we'll do is play Human Capital. Human Capital is this next one, and we'll just continue working on the rough. We're previewing the album Worst Places to Work.
Company culture defined by the people. List your core values, give it to the HR. Monitor the morale, meet if it's not going well. Make a list of goals that are easily achievable. Make sure that they feel good about what they're selling you. Make sure they're forgetting how bad they're compensating you. Maybe get some donuts. Do not raise their paychecks. Fiscal responsibility. Fiscal responsibility here. Just feed on nepotistic needs and hold back our resources until they bleed. Call it fiscal responsibility. It's how you sleep at night and how you feed the greed. You're a little dime sheet spreadsheet. They call you human capital. Keep producing jobs for the landfills, putting sweat and grease the machine. Oh, you're a little dime sheet spreadsheet. They call you human capital. Keep producing jobs for the landfills, putting sweat and grease the machine. So someone's made a mistake somewhere on production line. Find someone to blame before you miss your deadline. If it hurts the morale, bring it to the HR. Make a list of goals that are easily achievable. Make sure that they feel good about what they're selling you. Make sure they're forgetting how bad they're compensating you. Maybe get some coffee, do not cough out a new fee. Fiscal responsibility. Fiscal responsibility. Just feed on nepotistic needs and hold back our resources until they bleed. Call it fiscal responsibility. It's how you sleep at night and how you feed the greed.
All right, so that was Human Capital. That was track 5 from Worst Places to Work album. How are you guys doing if you're listening? What are you guys working on? It's a Sunday. Hopefully you're working on something fun. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you're having a creative day. That's what I hope. I've been like insanely inspired as of late. I don't know if it's clear, but it's like, you know, it's not normal for me to do like to make 2 albums in like a couple of weeks. That's pretty weird for me. And I don't know what it is. It's just been, I've been really inspired, and I haven't been able to stop basically like recording music and having crazy creative output. And that's true. It's probably because I'm at home too. So it's like when I'm around with these things. But it's been really nice to be, you know, creatively fired up, and just feeling this kind of crazy inspiration. And I think I'm going to keep recording stuff. So that's the neat thing, is I think I've already got like a rough recording for the next album started, which is kind of insane. Again, it's just been really cool and really inspiring. And that's what we were going to have here. It was going to be a barrel. We're going to have like a barrel with some fish or something here. Oh no, that's gross. I guess one of the dogs threw up. That's not fun. That's going to happen in the heat too. Sometimes I've noticed that dogs will occasionally have a barf moment, especially when they're, you know, like 13 years old. Okay, so we're going to do this fish barrel, and while we do this, maybe I should play you guys track 6 of the 10-song album that will be released. If you want to hear an album that's already out, that came out a couple weeks ago, that is called They Don't Care About the Born. There's a link below in the show notes to both, where you can hyper follow this new album as well as check out the old one. And you can get that on any streaming platform that basically has music, but particularly like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Prime, etc. This next one is going to be called, Sycophant Replacement. Sycophant Replacements. And this will be track 6 off the album. Oh, wrong one. Okay, here. Wrong one again.
Train your replacements. Keep a good attitude. There's nothing to fear. Just stand up tall and clear. Stage show, not for sale now. My ears are clogged. I need to hear you say it clear. Not for sale now. I couldn't hear you. I need you to speak a little louder. Not for sale now. Shake down, get out of here. Don't compromise your good intentions. There's nothing there to fear. Don't give in to their bad intentions. And what's that you say? Not for sale now. When they give you bad pay. Not for sale now, nah, nah, nah. Couldn't hear you say it louder. Not for sale. Train sycophants, ignore the elephants in the back rooms where they train your replacements. Keep a good attitude about the lies they're selling you. Make sure you work overtime whenever they request it of you. Make sure you understand the reason for their demand, or they will reprimand, replace you with a sycophant. Train the sycophants, ignore the elephants in the back rooms where they're training your replacement. R-E-P-L-A-C-E-S. Hey, I'm tired of all these sold out phonies, kissing rings, appeasing cronies. Office small talk, how's the weather? When you know they don't care whether you live or die. I'm so tired of living this life. The only people who stick around found workarounds. Clock watching lawyers and suck up. They'll stab you in the back for money. Pretend every joke is funny with an asterisk with little words that'll get you messed up.
All right, so that was Sycophant Replacements, and that's track 6 off of Worst Places to Work, which is my album that's going to be coming out soon. I actually want to have this a little higher here. And we're basically just filling in the background at this point, and kind of, I think I might want to have more of these barrels too, because I think these barrels really add to the vibe. Plus, all the photo reference we looked at from the previous pages that took place in the market, there were like a lot of barrels, a lot of things in the barrels. So this could be almost like wheat or something. Anyhow, so we're just kind of filling out all the details here, all the deets, and giving some, some texture to the ground here. I like this old guy kind of here. So maybe there's a window here or something. So anyhow, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Also what you guys have been up to. We're gonna play another track off the album, Worst Places to Work. So the next is Step Outside of the Cubicle, and that's this next one.
Come don't know why they wanted you, but I do. You don't need anything, just so call me. I do think you need to go outside before you let them take your pride. Claustrophobia in the cubicle, step outside. I do think you need to go outside before you let them take your pride. Claustrophobia in the cubicle, step outside. We weren't meant for this life of cubicles. Step out into the night and feel the wind it blow. We weren't built to be stuck inside, so let's go call me instead. They want you dead. They got into your head, speaking lies about your value. They don't know why they wanted you, but I do. You don't need anything, just so call me. I do think you need to go outside before you let them take your pride. Claustrophobia in the cubicle, step outside. I do think you need to go outside before you let them take your pride. Claustrophobia in the cubicle, step outside.
All right, so that was track 7. and that was basically step outside of the cubicle. And we've finished one panel so far of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left to go for our roughs, but I think that's a pretty good rough. The nice thing about this is most of that background we're just going to kind of reuse for the next part, but obviously the poses are going to be slightly different when it comes to the different characters. And what we're going to have is Penn basically, who's on the right, is going to be running to the left. So that's basically where we're going to be. If you have not yet, please hit that like button and that subscribe button so you get notifications, and the bell so you get notifications when we're about to go live. And here I'm going to play the trailer, Mr. Jim Luhan's second trailer, and then we're going to continue roughing out this page. Here it is.
You know, the Georgia kids say the craziest thing.
So, little Susie, do you have any brothers or sisters? I understand you're in 3rd grade. How do you like that? Do you like your teacher? You like to do a lot of fun things at school? You got any hobbies, Susie? Any things you like to do when you're not in school? I hear you like to read.
Well, right now I'm reading 2 stories written and illustrated by Joshua Kemble. It grapples with faith and mental illness. It's ultimately a story about redemption. It's a savage piece of writing. Also, I just finished up Jacob's Apartment, another one by Kemble. Jacob's Apartment weaves together elements of spiritualism and relationship dynamics, as well as atheism, and all the while it deals with abandonment and loyalty. It's a fierce, fierce read.
Do you like ponies?
All right, so we have a lot going on. All right, so we're going to get into the rough for the next panel. And again, that's just going to be repeating most of this, but with new characters in it. And again, it's a rough. It's a rough, so it can kind of repeat those things. And there's going to be. Oh, the only thing is. All right, let's go ahead and move that here. And then we'll redraw the characters just to kind of indicate what's going on here. Doo-ba-doo-doo. Okay. So, I'm going to erase this text because obviously that's not going to be used. And behind that text. And then this guy is going to have a completely different pose at this point too, as are Elizabeth and Robert. They're going to be a little bit more forward. So we'll redraw them. And we'll redraw this dude because I liked my newer pose here where he's like going to be looking at the kid. There's going to be a kid here. This will erase. Can crop out the excess here. And then I liked the idea of her being different too. She's doing like a, oh no, don't go kind of thing. And I think the lady can kind of stay the same, but I'd like her to be, maybe her arms are on the bench now. So that's what we're going to do here, is just the mild changes for this rough. Maybe her expression too. She's like, whoa. And then here we're going to have Wilson is now looking over here like, oh no.
I found a way to go into the live stream. No one can see me.
I've got a bunch of kids goofing around in the background.
Hi, Steve.
And they're dropping like fire in the hole in the background too.
Hello.
Hi, Steve. How's it going? Very funny. My son's cousin is over. My niece playing. They're having a little play date, which is always fun. So she's gonna have her arm around her her basket here. So her basket's going to be a little bit higher now. This is the candy tray. And again, this is just a rough. So like the point is just kind of work out where I want things to be. That'll be her saying like, wait a second there. That is the worst hand right there. The kids are really being goofy. It's kind of fun. Okay, so she's like, wait. And then we're going to have the stick thing here. That'll be finishing up because obviously he's not there anymore.
YouTube. Hey guys, this is your reminder to like and to subscribe to this guy's channel if you haven't already. Yes. If you have, good for you. Yeah. If you haven't, please go do that right now. Yes. Thank you.
You heard him. You heard my son, my goofy kid.
What about me?
And my niece. Being very silly. Steve, apparently. All right, so we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this done, guys. We're gonna get this done. So we have to do just a little bit more here. See if we can draw our guy here being a little surprised. He's gonna be having his hat up a little bit. And he's still leaning against there, but now he's got his pipe kind of here. And his pipe's going to be here, but he's going to be tilted a little more to the other angle.
Hi. Hi. Sorry, can I just do this real quick? Why are you trying to hit me?
So then, again, we're going to have this stuff
I actually have to for some reason.
shading. And we have a battle going on. Okay, and then we're going to have Penn here now. Penn is going to be saying, may I buy a sweet? So he's going to be kind of... Let's see if we can get this right. Here he's basically just saying, hey, can I buy a sweet? But his hair is going to be sort of back. And I like the idea of him almost running. So then this can be the hand. And for anybody watching this who's like, why would Penn, if that's like their son, be wearing like a dress? Well, they actually used to dress Penn in a dress. That's a unique thing to the Brownings that was critiqued and commented on at the time, but definitely not a common thing in that era. But Elizabeth liked to dress Penn up in dresses. I don't like the slowness of that movement, so I kind of like the idea of this being more... He's like leaning forward. That actually works a little better. Okay. And then we have this going here. And more cameos from Steve in the background.
FBI, open up! Really? You just got trolled. No, not the trolling, guys. Leave a like to help me out. Yeah, just leave.
All right, strange things are afoot in this house.
Good point, Elon. Just good point. Don't say my name. Good point. Just leave a like on the video, please, if you haven't already. This is another reminder for that.
So we're just trying to get this rough done, and we're gonna get there. All right. Now I just need to have this kind of worked out too, and then we're gonna have our this will be Elizabeth sort of reacting to her child. Got some goofy kids, man. Some goofy kids. So this is going to be Elizabeth here. And then we've got Fire in the Hole playing in the background too. I don't know if you guys can hear that. This is wildness. Wildness. Okay. So this is Robert here, kind of staring forward.
Just get to instead of you.
And Robert's going to be sort of focusing forward. And I like the idea of this being kind of back a little more. And apparently I have some kids in the background dancing to music. That's an unexpected little treat. Okay, and then we've got, to just kind of finish this up, this panel. I don't like his arm kind of just cutting off there, so maybe he can be reaching his hand out like to his kid. That would actually make more sense.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bro, we already said that.
I'm just going to say it again anyways. It's like an impromptu commercial breakthrough.
Yeah, it's you guys are definitely getting more bang for your buck of entertainment here than just art. Okay, here we go. And then we just want to do, I'd actually like to have this kind of move here. So there we go. Okay. Now I want to take this off, and then we're going to just shade this so that we're kind of accurately reflecting the background and them. So, and again, this is just a rough, like the point is for my publisher to kind of get a rough idea of what this page is going to look like once I really fill it out and kind of work it out. And the nice thing about this is I've shown this on other streams, but when you work out the shading and all of these details kind of early on, like a lot of that can save you a ton of time later on when you start getting into more specifics. So there we go. There we go. We've got 2 panels done. And those are pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that sequence. I think that works pretty well. And I think that what we'll do now is play another trailer.
Like and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button.
And
like, turn on notifications, and if you don't have Minecraft,
Okay.
download Minecraft. And then you'll say
And we're gonna play.
If you don't already have Minecraft, I would definitely recommend you get Minecraft. And
Thank you guys.
mainly a few games like Terraria,
Yeah.
Java Trash.
Yeah, I love it. Okay,
Yeah, all that stuff. And I'm just gonna go get something real quick. I'll be right back.
great. Okay, we've been going for almost 2 hours, so I'm gonna play this break, and then we will continue filling out the rest of this page. We only have 5 panels left to go, and here is that trailer.
But before we get
Well, Peter, since I'm such a big music fan, I'm gonna have to go with Karen Carpenter.
Oh, Stu, I'm sorry. That's the incorrect answer. Trish, what you got for us?
I'm gonna go with Kim Gordon.
All right, let's check that answer. Kim Gordon. Do we have a Kim Gordon? Yes, and that means you're our new Wordzoid champion, Trish. Dale, tell Trish what she's won.
Trish, you've won a copy of 2 stories, a memoir of faith and mental illness. Handwritten, hand-drawn, and handed to you by artist and writer Joshua Kemble. But wait, that's not all. You've also won a copy of Jacob's Apartment, the story of a doomed romance. What happens when you take Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and put it in a blender with Ghost World? You get Jacob's Apartment, written and illustrated by Joshua Kemble. Trish, thank you for playing Wordzoid.
All right, great job, Trish. I was told I was going to get a lifetime supply of paper towels.
All right, so now we're going to basically continue this and do basically like Penn is going to be getting his shirt straightened here, I guess. So here's Elizabeth. Luckily, like the hardest part, I think, of the rough has been done. So now we just have Elizabeth straightening Penn's hair, right? And she's going to be reaching forward. And here is going to be the straightening the outfit. And I like the idea of maybe it being both her hands because, you know, she's like basically straightening his coat. So here's going to be his coat of Elizabeth. She's kind of leaning down to do this in her dress. And then we're going to have Penn here. He's going to be kind of standing here. And he's going to be getting his collar straightened or whatever. He has long, kind of Elizabeth-like hair as well. And she's straightening his collar. And this is going to be his arms are kind of back. Like so. And his hands. And that's going to be him just kind of leaning back there. Wow, that head is way out of proportion with his body. He's got a broken neck. We're going to fix that. Can't all be perfect. Okay, and then I like the idea of maybe a little more substance here. So there we go. Okay, and then this is going to be Robert kind of leaning down to get in his wall. Like, he's basically reaching in his pocket. And then we're going to have him kind of reaching in his pocket. So here I'll have him, like this hand is kind of holding open his trouser pocket. And this hand is going to be reaching in. to get in his trouser pocket. Okay, and then there's like that bucket, or I was going to say bucket, but that barrel, and that barrel's right here. So there's the barrel that we saw on the previous panels, and that'll be like just kind of filled with something. I think I was thinking like wheat or something. So I will figure that out more surely next time. And then we're gonna have, there's kind of that window that was sort of in the background, so just to give it a little bit of a semblance of place, we'll do that. And then that way we have a floor. Sweet. And now we just have to add some shading here. And then we can have our thing here.
You can barely see my eyes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A face mask over your face.
Okay, and then we're doing our barrel here.
No, but the sunglasses are really tinted, so you can't even see the eyes.
And then there we go. Now we have roughs for 3 of the, let's see here, 7 panels that we got to get done. Dylan said, "Hi, Joshua. How's it going, Dylan? How you doing?" I was playing a debut of the album Worst Places to Work, not Worst Cases to Work. And we might kind of continue that as we work on the rest of these roughs. So now let's play track 8, which is, this one's called NDA, aka The Cover Up. And so we're going to play that. So let's play that. That'll be track 8.
How can I be safe from? retaliation. Can I file a paper, please? I'm worried about the enemies. How can I be safe from?
All right, so that was NDA, aka the cover up from Worst Places to Work, which will be the album that'll be out in a couple days. You can follow it actually through DistroKid. The link below will let you know when that's about to go live, when it's on Spotify. And now we're at the 2-hour mark, so I'm going to play another trailer. We're almost done with our rough, which is pretty exciting. I'm actually kind of digging that wide shot at the top because I don't have a lot of wide shots like that. And I think that's going to look really good once we get to the final. So what we're going to do now is play another trailer. And this trailer will be... let's play Christopher Runciman's kind review of my work. And if you guys haven't checked out Christopher Runciman's channel, it's worth checking out. As well, he does live comics all the time.
Hi, my name's Chris and I like comics. I want to talk about this comic for a second here. I just got this in. I ordered it direct from my local comic shop through Diamond Distributing. It's Joshua Kemble's Jacob's Apartment. I really enjoyed this book. There's all kinds of comics out there, let's be honest. There's fun comics, there's superhero comics, there's young adult comics, there's adventure comics for kids. There's so many different things on the planet, but there's also an entire subgenre of alternative books. Real life, real world depictions in comic book form. Situations that happen to each and every one of us. And this is a fine example of that. If you get a chance, order this book from your local comic shop. You won't be disappointed. I can't sing its praises high enough. Okay? Check it out. Jacob's Apartment by Joshua Kemble.
Dylan said he's doing all right. He's been dealing with an upset stomach since this morning. Ooh, yeah, I can understand an upset stomach for sure. I actually relate to that. I had one this morning myself, so that was pretty epic. Okay, so this is just going to be pretty easy peasy. And that'll be him saying just thank you. And he's going to have his Jim was saying, "You darn teenagers and your loud rock and roll music." Nice. What's funny is I've been on this kick, and I think I'm going to keep just recording music. I don't know what's been going on, but it's been pretty awesome. So there he's going to have his whereabouts, his money that he scrounged for candy. And then similarly, like, we're going to have here, we're going to have our, see, I think that shirt cuts a little higher. Anyhow, here we're going to have Robert kind of looking down. Yeah, but I think I'm going to keep tracking music. I've been wildly inspired lately. So I think that I already have a raw track that I might play for you guys. Paul, Jim was saying, I was telling Paul the other day that you and I are in the same scenario with our long-term projects. Both are coming around the bend. I have a feeling you're going to finish years before me. That's what I suspect. But I do know today I need to do, let's see, this is 112. I need to do 4 more of these roughs after this one's done. So I will probably be live streaming quite a bit today. However, I'm probably going to break for dinner after this one is completed. But yes, it is funny how I think you and I are very similar, Jim. You also get the music bug, and it's like it's hard to avoid. It's hard to avoid playing music because it's so fun. Writing songs is fun. That's the thing I don't think a lot of people realize about. Well, maybe a lot of people do realize music's fun. That may actually be one of the few things. But it is super fun to write songs. Like I don't think I think of every kind of art generation, like making art. I think that would be the most pleasant and kind of organic of all art forms would be with music. It's just very organic and fun, you know? I want to have his hand more clear here. Oh. Even if that's like not super clear, I want it to be a little more obvious. And then we'll have our kind of there we go. I want to have that kind of cleared up, and then we're going to have our Elizabeth's going to be here. Now she's kind of leaning back. And she's going to have her hands kind of over here. So she's like leaning forward, kind of leaning on her hands. And again, I'm trying to do this quick because these are just roughs. And what's funny is somebody might be watching this and being like, is this quick? It's like, for me, it is. This is a much quicker process. The roughs stage. And then she's just going to be kind of crouching. Looking at her child happily. And then we're going to have our little barrel thing here. My wife is in the background sneezing and also working on stuff. She's working on a kid's book, not just sneezing. She's on a tight deadline too. It's one fun thing and hard thing about being a creative is like you know, like because my wife's an illustrator too. It's like we both are on crunch time right now. And so it's kind of fun because it's like we're not alone, but it's also like, oh my gosh, like we're both very, very tired. We'll put it that way. But we're getting through it, you know, and there's kind of a fun like team feeling to that. I don't know if that makes sense. Dylan said bless you to my wife. That's awesome. She said thank you. Just gonna translate here. Okay, and then we've got the little bit that we're gonna see here of these goods and services that are being offered here. And then we're going to have some floor. And that's going to be another panel. I should probably play more of that album for you guys. So I think I played you the NDA song. And what's cool is these are the masters, too. So this album is cooked and ready to go. It's already submitted and will be available on all streaming platforms very shortly. And this whole album is themed on just horrible workplaces. I thought that would be a fun theme to do. So let's see here. This is just going to be establishing a little bit more of that. There we go. And we will call that done for that panel. And while we work on the other panels, I'll go ahead and put on song 9 from The Worst Places to Work, which is called The System by Design. So we'll play that. I wonder what you guys are up to. How far are you right now, Jim, on your thing? I'd love to hear it. How's Full Fungus coming? All right, here's track number 9.
We're on a deadline. We need you over time. We're unprepared and understaffed. This is the system by design. I know you had plans to escape for the weekend. Profit margins, supply and demand, supplies with the time and demand. You put us with force of flight, us with your blood and desire. You think of us as your family. I know had plans to escape for the weekend, but there is no escape. Yeah, there are no weekends, no weekends. We own you. Oh yeah, you're just a tool. Don't you dare even breathe unless we tell you to. So fly us with your blood in each hand. You think of us as your family. I know you had plans to escape for the weekend, but there is no escape. Yeah, there are no weekends, no weekend. We own you. Oh yeah, you're just a tool in our factory of misery. We own you, a useless fool. Don't you dare even breathe unless we tell you to. We own you. Oh yeah, you're just a tool in our factory of misery. We own you, a useless fool. Don't you dare even breathe unless we tell you to.
All right, so that was Supply and Demand. Oh, Dylan was saying, did you write down that suggestion, Supply and Command? I actually like that a lot. I don't think I ended up using that one for this though, but I like that, and I might borrow that for a different future thing. That's a pretty great little twist. All right, so what do we have here? Okay, and then we're going to have just the kind of wheat stuff, whatever that ends up being. That's in this barrel. And then this will be similarly everything kind of there. Yep. Okay, cool. And then I think we're actually done with this rough as well. So what's great about about doing roughs is there are sections where it takes like forever, and then it goes a lot smoother as it goes. It also might have to do with me being like way looser by the time I'm a little further on thumbnails and roughs. Like you get kind of warmed up and move a lot faster. But again, like these things are not meant to be, crazy detailed. It's just enough to show the sequence, enough to give the publisher and the author an idea, as well as myself an idea, and also do a little bit of the pre-work, because it's like now I have a rough idea of what the lighting's going to look like, etc. So, okay, we have the last panel left to go. And we have one song left to preview for you guys off the new album. And then if we have time, I'll play you guys an instrumental that I've just tracked after releasing this album. Okay, here is track 10 of Worst Places to Work, my solo album. And this one is called Commute to the Cemetery. Ooh.
Do you have to drive?
All right, so that was Commute to the Cemetery, which was the last track on Worst Places to Work, which is the album that has just come out and should be on streaming platforms everywhere within the next few hours, days. And if you really want to follow it, especially if you have Spotify, make sure you click the link in the notes. That'll take you there. There's also a link to the previous album. Came out about 2 weeks ago, called They Don't Care About the Born. And also a link to all my different books that you can support, as well as if you're shopping and you use Temu for like cheap products, especially like guitar parts or whatever, you can click my affiliate link down below, and that actually helps me get some cash for what I do, which is fun, and that'll give me a little bit more disposable income when it comes to guitar modding and all sorts of stuff like that, which ends up getting put to use to my music. So anyhow, thanks everybody. We actually finished it. We did it. We got the rough for page 112 done. And I'm going to be probably working on more roughs throughout the day, maybe throughout the night. So I will be seeing you guys later. But for now, that'll do it for the stream. One question I have, one request, especially if you're in chat right now, is hit that like button. That way, this does better on the algorithm. And also make sure you've hit subscribe and the bell. And also make sure you have a really wonderful Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to everybody in the chats. It's super fun. And you know what? Just as a treat, let me play you guys the raw track of a song that hasn't been released yet, that's been recorded after this last album. And this is possibly the direction I'm going to go on the next one. So this is just the music. I have no lyrics for this yet, and this is not mastered. So, but it is the first time I've played it for anyone. So here, check it out. Get this album. It's on all streaming platforms. And get this album. It's on all streaming platforms. This one. I'm trying to point at it. I'll play up to the breakdown and then we'll call it. Thanks everybody who's been here. I appreciate you guys. Again, if you haven't hit like, hit the bell so you get notifications when we're about to go live. I like this little breakdown part. Okay. That'll do it. Have a good Sunday, and I will see you guys on the next stream. Bye.